Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is my 2024 Tesla Model 3 Long Range All-Wheel Drive. So this is the dual motor. And in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 things and maybe a few little bonus gripes. 5 things that I hate about my 24 Tesla Model 3. But first, before we do that, I want to give you guys a little update on the garage. We got this really nice organizer over there. And I just painted this wall black, so it looks a lot better. And I'm going to get some flags and some decorations up here to make it look kind of nice, so that the garage looks a lot better than just being just a flat white. So I think that little accent wall is cool, and I'm proud to say that I did 95% of that myself, even though I'm not the handiest guy in the world. And I'm also proud to say that I set up this shelf myself as well. So I got this little garden hose here, got my little pressure washer, shop vac, some little storage containers, got the Tesla wheel covers, part of the exhaust. This came from my RS3 actually, my old RS3. And if I look over here, I can show you guys my little Tesla charger. So I got a little hook on the wall, got a 240 volt outlet, and I'll give you guys an update in a future video once I get the decorations up on that wall. So I think it'll look pretty nice. All right guys, we are cruising my Tesla Model 3 Long Range All-Wheel Drive. And let's go ahead and start off with number 1. And number 1 is the performance degradation at low state of charge. So that's normal for an electric car when it's lower state of charge to be slower, but it can be slightly annoying for someone like me, because if I run up next to a scat pack or something, you know, we're at a light or whatever, and he takes off, I'm gonna race him. Sometimes it sucks because I'll get myself caught out at like a low state of charge. So I'll be like just cruising around, I'll be low, like let's say 20% or whatever, and then there'll be a scat pack driving crazy and I'll be like wanting to mess with him. And I can't because, well, I can, but it won't be as fast because it'll be lower in the state of charge. And that mainly affects like the top end, like past 60. Because from 0, I'll still be able to take off fast even at 20%. It still takes off pretty fast. Like the 0 to 60, it still does it in like the mid 4s, even at low state of charge. But yeah, the top end suffers. So like if you're on the highway or something and you run up on somebody, you won't be able to perform like the car can perform because it's low on state of charge. So that's one little downside, something that most Tesla owners probably don't care about. But the way to mitigate this is, like I showed you guys earlier in this video, I have that charger at my house. So I can literally just charge my car up to like 85% every day. So that every time I'm driving it, it's pretty much always anywhere between 70 and 85%. So that's the way to mitigate that problem. Or if you're actually going out to actually race somebody, you can just supercharge so that it preheats the battery and you get to the super high state of charge, and then you can race somebody. You know, if you're actually racing it. Number 2, that's annoying, is explaining. I'm actually going to go around this way. Explaining how to use this car to other people. So sometimes I'll have someone drive my car, or I'll have someone, like, I park in the back of the back lot at work and it's kind of far away, and sometimes I'll have like there'll be someone going back there, but hey, can you bring my car up when you come back up? And you have to explain how to use this car to people that are not familiar with Teslas, because any normal car, you know, it has a key or push button start, whatever, it's super easy, anyone can figure it out. But with a Tesla, no one knows how to use it unless they're very, you know, savvy with Teslas. So I'll be like, okay, so you're gonna take the key card, you gotta go to the B pillar, you gotta wipe it by the B pillar, you know, in front of the camera or whatever for the doors to unlock. Then you need to put it, you know, in the center area, and a lot of times people get really confused and they don't know how to use it. And another thing too is, now that the gear shifter thing is on the screen, that's another thing that confuses people. Let's do a little acceleration here. Not bad. It would be faster if the battery was warmed up. The battery's not warmed up right now. Still good though. But yeah, that can be a little frustrating at times, because, you know, if you had a normal car, you just give them the keys. Hey, can you bring my car up? Okay, yeah, no problem. But with a Tesla, okay, you have to explain to them every single step of the way on how to use it, because, you know, it is more complicated, and, you know, it takes actually knowing the car to know how to use it properly. Another thing kind of going along with that is the door handles. So I'm gonna throw in a little clip on how to properly use the door handles, but every single passenger I have has issues opening the door. Left side, use your left hand. That's how you open the door. Passenger side, use your right hand. Just like that. So easy to open the door. You just gotta use the right hand. Right hand, right side, left hand for the left side. Anybody that doesn't know how to use a Tesla properly, they'll not know how to open the door handle right. So they'll be like fiddling around with the door trying to open it correctly, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I don't like this car, I don't know how to use the door handle, when really it just takes learning it. Number 3, the camera-based wipers and the camera-based parking sensors. So when I leave my neighborhood, the camera-based parking sensors will like detect the gate, and then once it moves out of the way, it still thinks the gate is there for whatever reason. All right guys, we're driving up to this gate. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So we're pulling up to the gate. The camera-based sensors will notice the gate's there, right? So it sees the gate, right? But once the gate gets out of the way, which it will shortly, it doesn't go away, it stays there. So when I drive straight, it thinks I'm gonna hit the gate. See? If it was just normal, like regular parking sensors, like with my M2, it won't detect the gate if it's not there. So that's a little annoying. And then another thing too is the camera-based wipers, because when you're driving in the rain, the wipers are kind of inconsistent when it's in auto mode. Sometimes it'll wipe too much and sometimes it won't wipe enough. Like the windscreen will be getting like super dirty and, or not dirty, but super filled up with water, and it won't even wipe. It'll wipe like really late. And then vice versa, it won't be raining, it'll be like barely sprinkling, and then the wipers will be going off. Just something that's kind of a quirk that you have to get used to on these newer Teslas. Number 4, Sentry mode. So if you guys aren't familiar with Tesla, Sentry mode, basically what that does is it monitors the exterior. If someone walks up close to your car, it'll start recording, or if someone's tugging on your door handle or whatever, it'll start recording, which is great. And then you can also view like a live camera view of your car, which is also awesome. But the downside is that it'll flash the lights when it's detecting somebody. Tesla's goal in doing this is that, oh, it'll deter a criminal if they're walking up to the car and it starts flashing lights at them. But for me, I'm not sure what's going on here. But for me, it's kind of annoying because let's say your car's outside and you just want to check it. You just want to check the camera, see if anything's going on by your car. When you check it, it'll like every 10 seconds or so, it'll like flash the lights. So, it's not really discreet checking your cameras when it's flashing lights every time you open it up. And it doesn't make sense. I'll show you guys the Tesla app. It literally has a button for like making it honk, flashlights, or fart, or even talk to the exterior. You can literally do that from the app, so I don't know why Tesla felt the need to do it automatically when you have the option to do it yourself if you did want to flash the lights. Number 5 is right up here, this glass roof. So some people, they love sunroofs, they love the glass roof and all that, and it's cool, I guess, but the thing I don't like about it is that in Vegas, it gets over 100 degrees in the summertime, and the glass roof does make the car hotter. And you can feel the sun, even though it's slightly, you can feel the sun on your head. And then sometimes on certain times of day, the sun will be like right here, and it will shine in your eyes. I have a tint on it, which is why it's so dark. I have like a ceramic tint to make it even darker. And it'd be nice if Tesla just had like a shade to cover it. Like it can even be a manual shade, just as long as there's a shade to cover it so you don't have to worry about it, shining on your face all the time. Now there are aftermarket companies that have shades that you can put on the glass. And I have one actually, but when stuff is aftermarket, it never fits correctly, or it's not like 100% perfect, and it's not supposed to be there from the factory. So, it's just, I don't know. I don't like doing aftermarket stuff. I would rather it just be that way from the factory. Let's get ourselves some Starbucks real quick. All right, guys, just got our Starbucks. And for one last little minor gripe is the steering wheel. So steering wheel, I love the shape of the steering wheel. I love the feel of the steering wheel. I love how tight the steering ratio is. The only downside is that the type of material that they use, it doesn't really feel the greatest. This, I don't know, it's like maybe like a vegan leather, like a fake leather or something. It doesn't feel the greatest. And then the stitching is actually on the back side of the steering wheel instead of in the inner parts of the steering wheel. So that means that when you're driving it, your hands are getting kind of cut up by this like cross stitching in the back of the steering wheel. I'll try to show you guys on the camera. Hopefully you guys can see that. But there's cross stitching on the back parts of the steering wheel, and it kind of cuts, if you grip the steering wheel, it kind of like cuts your hands a little bit, or you can kind of feel it like it's kind of sharp. We're gonna outsmart traffic real quick. because we're not about to wait in this line. Alrighty, let's see. And that's how you do it. Go in, make a U-turn, and leave all the people sitting there at the light. Easy peasy. But anyway, yeah, so that's the one last little minor thing. But overall, the car has been great. I really, really like the car. I think it was a great purchase. Or I'm leasing it, but I think it was a great decision to get this car. It does daily driver things so well. I'm at about 7,700 miles right now. I'll be doing a 10,000 mile update, going over like, you know, how the ownership experience has been and everything like that. So stay tuned for a 10,000 mile update video once we get to that point. I've had no issues with charging or it being an electric car and, oh, I'm gonna run out of range or I'm gonna have range anxiety, and I've had none of those problems at all owning this car. It's been fantastic. And yeah, stay tuned for the future videos that I'll make on this car. But if you enjoyed this one, please give it a like and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.